Let's try this again. Hopefully it'll go better than last time. Uh, so, yesterday, I attempted to use Chat GPT to create a sort of image of what I was imagining for this Helios armor, but it wouldn't do it. So I can apparently make images in the style of Bleach, no problem, but I can't ask it to create something even using Ironman as inspiration. Because I want to get an image in my head. I want to be able to see something right in front of me. But whatever. Apologies for my mood today. It's not a good day. But then when is it a good day? Hello there, Pokemon TCG Pro. Why can I not remember the name of that Pokemon? I know it's from Black and White, correct? Final evolution of Litten. Fighting Fire. The name escapes me for some reason. Um, Incineroar, right? Incineroar. Wait, is that the name? Or am I thinking of the lion fire type? Okay, it's Incineroar. I liked Black and White quite a bit, but then who didn't? It actually had three of my all-time favorite. Wait a minute. Chandelure, Hydreigon, um, Volcarona, Galvantula, um, and who else? The four I just mentioned are among my all-time favorite Pokemon. Were there more? I'm trying to remember. Well, I really like Crocodile. Um, why can't I remember the name of the one psychic type? Um, it's not Gothorita, Gothitella, or any of those. It almost looks like I don't want to say a parasite, but like an organism. Why can't I remember the name of it? Um, were there others? No, Sylveon was sixth gen, not fifth. That's another favorite of mine. Love Sylveon. Also love Greninja. Chandelure was fifth gen, right? Yeah, he was fifth gen. Umbreon's amazing. I love all the evolutions, at least in terms of design. Even if I don't use them. Um, but yeah, my all-time favorite Pokemon in no particular order are number one, Dragonite. Not all these are in order. Gengar, Lucario, um, Chandelure, Volcarona, um, Greninja, Hydreigon. It might be Hydreigon for all I know. Mewtwo, and there's more. Those are off the top of my head. I don't know if I can pick a top five though. Like Dragonite and Chandelure would definitely be top 10. Chandelure might actually be my favorite ghost type, having taken that spot from Gengar. Uh, really solid design, awesome typing. Um, that sound you just heard is my cat. She's right next to me. Yeah, it gets tough for me because I love Gengar, but I also love Chandelure. Um, Apologies for that gurgling sound. That was my stomach. Yeah, it's really hard. It's really hard to choose. But Dragonite will always be number one for me because I love the design. I loved him in the anime when he appeared. You know the noises he makes. I think it's like is I don't know. And Dragonite just seems so cuddly. Like he's a dragon, but he seems so cuddly and well, obviously there could be female Dragonites, but like Dragonite just seems so cuddly and like a big teddy bear, but you know that it can be incredibly fierce at the same time. Um, I like Garchomp, but not as much as Dragonite. I mean, in all honesty, if I had to choose a favorite type, would it be Dragon? He does. This is gonna sound weird, but he almost kind of looks like if you took Barney and were like, let me make him look epic. Let me take Barney and change him from like a character for a show that teaches kids. No, wait, I'm sorry. I take that back. Dragonite looks like if you took the blue dragon from Dragon Tales and made him cooler and like, you know, not just a character for a kid's education series. But then, I also like Rayquaza. Um, It's funny how this stream is not supposed to be about Pokemon, but here I am talking about Pokemon. So, yeah. And thank you for the 2 likes so far. Unfortunately for me, I haven't been into Pokemon in quite some time because I really don't like the newer games. I don't like the direction. I really wish they would get longer development cycles so that you wouldn't have had to cut Pokemon. Um, you know, and really improve the animations and art style and whatnot. But they're not going to do that. It's a shame. I did get Violet, but that was because it was a gift. Um, I'm not touching the next one because I don't know. It just doesn't look any better than Violet. Like, it doesn't look noticeably different. I mean, the water and the environments might look better, but the Pokemon themselves, unless they've done some amazing work with the animations to make them look more lifelike when they attack and make the attacks look more natural. Um, then I'm just not interested. I feel like Battle Revolution had better looking attack animations, and that game's what, 10 years old now? Maybe older than that? And the Switch 2 should be much more powerful than the Wii. Like, that's why it hurts me because I'm an old school Pokemon fan, and I just feel like, what reason do I have to continue with it? I'm not trying to sound all high and mighty, but I'm never gonna get the Pokemon game of my dreams. I would want a Pokemon game, more or less, um, to be made by the team that did Breath of the Wild. um, Partnered up with Studio Ghibli. Um, like, just don't have Game Freak do it. Have the Breath of the Wild team make it with animation help from Studio Ghibli. Um, since I'm walking around now and don't want to disorient anyone, I'm gonna turn the camera off for a bit. But yeah, that's what I would do. That's what I would have wanted. That would be my dream game, like Studio Ghibli. If I'm not mistaken, I think they have done animation. They have done art styles for games before. So, um, yeah. Actually, no, I take that back. Here would be my ideal team for a new Pokemon for the Pokemon games going forward. Monolith, the developers of the Xenoblade series. That is who I would want to be put in charge of the Pokemon series. It's never going to happen because Game Freak and the Pokemon Company, they're not going to take it from Game Freak. And this isn't me trying to say there's anything wrong with Game Freak. It's just the Pokemon Company wants to cheap out. They only care about profits. They don't care about quality games. And they want to keep, buying into that nonsense of, oh, well, it's a kid's game, so it doesn't need to have that much effort put into it. Don't give me that nonsense. Seriously? I mean, if that was the case, Pixar movies wouldn't, for the most part, be as amazing as they are. And the old school Disney films, like the Renaissance era, they wouldn't be as good as they are. And those are for kids. So I don't want to hear that. That's always the argument people try to make. Oh, well, it's for kids, so it doesn't need to look that good. Really? Come on. Mario's not for kids. Donkey Kong's not for kids. Zelda's not more or less for kids. Or even if it's not, the target audience, it's still very kid friendly. Kirby's not for kids. All these franchises I just mentioned are mostly made with kids in mind. And they have, like, you look at Mario Odyssey, you look at Galaxy, you look at Wonder, even 3D World, right? High quality, very well made games, and they didn't cheap out. But then you look at Pokemon, and it's like, nope, profits over work. And I feel like if you're a game freak, you have to be thinking to yourself, I am so exhausted. Making a game, we know, is a very difficult task. Even for people who get a full development cycle. But the amount of crunch that Game Freak must have to deal with, like, that would drive a person insane and make you suffer from extreme exhaustion and mental fatigue. Like if you cared about your employees, you'd give them those 5 years to do that. I mean, even Sakurai has gone through a lot of heck, with the Smash Brothers games, and he even gets like a longer development cycle. I don't know how Game Freak even like does it. It's like, you look at the mangaka, right? Look at like Oda, for example. How much stress has how much his stress has impacted him from being overworked. Game Freak, my God, those poor people. Like, even if it is like, well, it's part of our culture, so we do it because of that. It's still mind-boggling to me that they can just stick with that. Maybe that's part of it. They just don't have passion anymore because they're so overworked. So overworked. And when I say when I tell a person that I'm frustrated with them cutting out the Pokemon, I'm not trying to say, oh well, I want them to work themselves even harder to make sure those Pokemon are added in. No, what I want is for Pokemon games to be in development for 6 years at least. And with Pokemon Go and all the and what is it called, Champions or whatever, and these other free to play Pokemon games raking in the dough, there shouldn't be a need for console releases every 2 years. There really shouldn't. Their apps make them millions, if not billions of dollars. And it's just greed. We know it's just greed. And you're right. Also, now that you're here, I think we can start the stream proper. I wasn't going to make this into a conversation about Pokemon, but that's just kind of what happened. So once... So I don't know if Pokemon TCG Pro, if you're a Marvel guy or if you're, casual or otherwise. But the focus of the channel for right now has been doing streams discussing a concept for an Ironman tie-in comic that I would more or less create if I was, you know, tasked to do that. And so, we discussed an original character named Colin Tanner. Um, Superhero name Munition for right now. That's his name. It might change in the future. And he's more or less like my Ironheart. Not literally, mind you, but my Ironheart in that Ironheart was supposed to be like a successor to Tony Stark. Um, but obviously much younger. And I want to preface what I'm saying off of I'm not doing this to suggest that there's anything wrong with Ironheart. Um, it's just mostly for fun. And I mean, it's not like, Marvel would listen to this video and say, "Hey, let's hire this guy." No, that would never happen in a million years. not unless not unless I was somehow to get like a lot of notice and a lot of subs and then they maybe took notice, but highly unlikely. Um, this is just for fun. This is just for a hobby mostly. We'll see where this goes. So yeah, Colin Tanner, aka Munition. Again, name may change. Probably will change. Um, and we also discussed very briefly. She's not been sorted out yet, but who a character that's shaping up to be one of his main adversaries, one of his main personal adversaries, Clarissa Stewart. Um, so far, she's a spy who is trying to gain intel on Stark Industries, and she's done so by kind of basically cozying on up to Colin and, you know, getting to like him, that sort of thing. Um, and she's doing this because she wants to help her father out. Her father, um, I guess you could say, is like from a rival company or something. Kind of like a Justin Hammer type, but I'd say more nefarious, more like a legit foe, as opposed to just a rival that's jealous and wants to cut corners. Um, so why don't we brainstorm here? Those of you in the comments, you are what I'm going to consider my editors and my writing team for coming up with for helping me put the pieces together. Um, so, and I'll put in the title that this is a bit more. This is a, more of a random casual stream, as well as briefly talking about Munition. You know what's funny? If the name wasn't already taken, I can't believe I didn't just think that I just thought about this. I might have considered calling him Iron Knight, but that's too similar to like Batman. So because Dark Knight, Iron Knight. So, but like I might have called him something along those lines. So what to discuss now? Um, my apologies. I clicked on a notification by mistake. Um, sorry. Kind of just thinking to myself there for a second. Um, because I'm now I'm kind of wondering if because munition the name munition does sound a bit too militaristic. Uh, just gonna disregard that nasty comment there. Apparently, some people can't accept the fact that not all of us can think out our thoughts clearly 100% of the time. Um, First 2000, I don't know if you're here and if you have the ability to do so, but please ban this Jumka actor, however you pronounce that name. I apologize if I butchered it. Anyway, but we'll stick with it for now until a better name is discovered. Now, what about um Clarissa? If she's gonna become a villain, I feel like she should have some method of uh contending with him. She doesn't have to, I realize. She could just be one of those foes who's, um, you know, not some kind of combatant. I'll more or less, I'll basically leave that, I not decision, but I'll ask you, my viewers, what do you think? Should she be a physical threat as well as, you know, a crafty spy, um, or just the spy who's, um, you know, I can't even think of an example because almost every single comics villain fights the hero in some capacity. Or she could just have like a she could maybe have like a bodyguard or something that is always with her, and that like takes him on. One if we do go the route of her also serving as a physical threat, I don't want to make her a scientist because every single foe of Iron Man's, even though she's not his, but she's Colin's, is some type of scientist. Um, well, not literally every single one, but 99%. So the question is how to separate her from past foes, how to make her more original, more unique. Here's an idea. What if she's a mutant? I mean, mutants don't have to just be uh, set aside for the X-Men. You could have a character be in a comic that's not related to the X-Men directly, be a mutant. So maybe she's got a mutant power that allows her to face him. Maybe she has. Okay, here's an idea. Maybe she's a shapeshifter. And I don't mean like Mystique, because Mystique can just change what she is. She can't change the shape of her body. Like, she couldn't turn her hand into like a spike or a whip. Maybe that could be your deal. And the reason why uh her father was initially against her getting involved is because he uh he doesn't want her being targeted by certain groups. Like he doesn't want her getting becoming part of any mutant groups. He doesn't want any mutant hate groups going after her. It's something to think about. Of course, she could also have powers as a result of an experiment gone wrong. She doesn't have to be a mutant. I think it would arguably be better if she didn't have tech based abilities, not directly. We could give her the ability to control machines. Now that I think about it, though, well, no, Tony has had a foe that was basically an evil Iron Man. So setting her up to be like an evil Iron Man, it could work, but again, I'd want to do something different. Actually, here's an idea. I kind of changed my mind on her potentially being a scientist. What if she's a scientist, but her abilities are related to something uh, biological, not technological? So, like, maybe she has like some kind of concoction that gives her an ability which she can use to fight. Um, Maybe the company that her father owns and potentially founded isn't a tech based company, but a company that deals in like mutagenics. It could be like a pharmaceutical company. It could be like Marvel's equivalent to Umbrella. um, that might be interesting. Anyway, I realized this was a stream that didn't really lead to much. But that's how it goes sometimes. I've more or less run out of things to say. And I think that because of that, I'm going to end the stream now. But thank you for showing up. Thank you for commenting. And thank you for leaving a like. I hope to see you again in the future. And until then, I have a secret to share with all of you. The truth is, I am Iron Man. Please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing.